Well, another day and a lot is going on. Crime is going crazy. Inflation is still crazy. American people are fed up. And um, Hillary Clinton is saying that Americans do not appreciate what Biden has done for them and blames social media. So, this is the weird part that I think got me to really think about talking about the news and all that is happening in the world, especially in our country, where everything is, everyone is looking for each other to blame. Even the politicians who are representative of our needs are saying that we basically, by this statement, how I see it, that Hillary Clinton is basically saying that we don't appreciate what Biden has done for us because at the end, her point is really that we don't understand what his foresight and how his knowledge is gonna help us in the near future or and get us out of this mess. And even she says, democracy is messy. A lot of people got, I think, kind of frustrated looking at the messy process of legislation. We understand, even though we don't, you think that we don't really appreciate it. People aren't stupid. American people have seen a lot over the last few years, and even though there's been a lot of divisiveness, people do understand what is important. Um, and the goal that I think a lot of this mainstream media has been able to accomplish, which is something we should be able to keep in mind every time we talk to someone about politics, is the divisiveness. It is intentional. It's meant to be there for a certain reason, and the reason is for us to always be high energy, high stress, and going at each other while everything in the background is happening without a problem. But it seems like the people in the U.S. are still seeing what the real issue is, and they're paying attention to that, which is why Hillary Clinton in the first place had to make this statement. But these are the issues. Among the worst were disastrous retreat from Afghanistan, the painful cost of high inflation, and crisis of illegal immigration at the border. And now, if you're saying that this person won with 81 million votes, you have 38%. Only 38% of the Americans thought Biden deserved a positive rating. And here we have Hillary Clinton that is stating things like, we're unappreciative. How could you say when the cost of living for overall every single American has gone up, where in the time of, holidays, people are having to spend a lot more than they would have expected last year, than they did last year, for basic necessities. Gas has gone up, 42%, I think, in our energy commodities. Used cars prices have gone up. Overall, the cost of food has gone up, even though they keep saying inflation is not a bad thing and it's not as bad as you think it is in the first place. People are seeing that. You cannot tell me that people are going to rely on your words to tell them that there is no inflation when overall their pockets are having to search deeper and deeper into there for the money that they need to for basic survival. On top of that, the shipping crisis, the vaccine mandates that has caused a lot of people to lose their job, including myself. In fact, I lost my job on November 9th, and even though I have a part-time job that I've been traveling for, which I wouldn't have had to do if I kept my initial job, I haven't been able to find a full-time job at this time. So all of these things considering, I think people are aware of the fact that there is a lot that should have been accomplished, even though there are problems. Not a single person in the political realm is going to be able to help anyone, but it should be a group effort that should be worked as a team rather than people looking at one person or a group of people. But the divisiveness that is being instilled in every single American and through the mainstream media has, caused this to be a bigger problem than it should be. I mean, there are a lot of scary things happening around the country. People are getting robbed. This was a perfect example that I read today. 82-year motorist just went to have get some Thanksgiving supplies and was beaten up by ATV gang numbering between 30 to 40 riders, and they broke his windows. They bruised him up, and this was around 7:30 p.m. I mean, it's not even in the. If you look at this picture and how it's happening, I mean, there. This is not looking good overall. The crimes are happening at more rapid, frequent pace, and on top of that, they seem to be happening at not in the middle of the night. It's just people are ganging up in larger numbers and coming and just robbing everything up. And this happened with a multiple number of stores where malls were being, malls just got robbed in a matter of minutes with about 80 people. And they just took everything out and just ran off. And there was nothing anyone could have done. Masks are normal now. So, I mean, you see this person being beaten up. And here's the other example that I was mentioning earlier, major food hikes. I mean, everyone in the family General Mills is one of probably have multiple products by them in every household in the U.S., and they're planning major price hikes on hundreds of items amid inflation. Some items, and they're saying some items here could go up to 20%. When these prices are at increasing at such drastic numbers, and you're telling people that the inflation rate is only 5%, I mean, people see through that nonsense, and they understand what all is happening. And so for Hillary Clinton to go at the American people, I think she's lost her credibility, which is probably the reason. I mean, she wasn't elected as president, and even the people that are on her side didn't really took her as someone who's ideal candidate for running for our country. But apparently she still has some say in all of this, and she's making opinions. And but those are some of the things that I was considering with this news article that came in. I felt like it needed to be discussed, and people need to understand that overall a lot is going on in the world and our country, even though we may think that there's this is to do with Democrats, Republicans. Divide and rule has worked really good in the past, and it seems like that plan continues to be successfully implemented all over whenever it's necessary. And if you really look at it, BLM versus people that are white, even if that Kyle Rittenhouse case, even if you didn't intend it to be a racist thing, they're putting you just because you're white person. Even if you didn't commit any crime against the black community, you're still being pushed as white supremacist because you were you made a stand against the BLM group, which means that they were out there to protect black lives, and you took a part in it. You happen to be white, and now even if you did go at them for self-defense, you are a problem. There's no rational thinking, so because everything is politicized. So BLM versus people that are just neutral, even if you're not on the opposite side or racist, or like the same majority of people are, they aren't. They're just trying to do just live on their day-to-day lives. And if you're vaccinated versus unvaccinated, you just choose that, hey, there isn't that much research yet, so I'm going to hold off on it. And you make that decision, and it happens to be that more people don't like that if they are vaccinated. So there's divisiveness in that. Democrats and Republicans, everything is divided, and that is what I think people need to pay more attention to and understand, more so than anything in life, that you just keep your sanity through all of this mess. Protect yourself, and keep everything that would help you and your family in difficult times. Be very alert, but if there's an argument to do with politics, I think it's ideal not to go into it with a person that is irrational about it, at least doesn't have an open mind. And you keep an open mind as well, and try not to be divisive, and not fall prey for their games that they're playing, which is to go irate every time you have a discussion with someone who has an opposing opinion. So anyway, this is the first video, so I'm just gonna stop it here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you share, like, and subscribe, and come back for more. Thank you.